Hello, this is Edith Neumeyer, and I'm the author of the book, The Mystery of Adam. I'm going to continue with my last video because I talked too much about this coronavirus and how it relates to this end times new world order. And I finally explained who is behind this new world order and a little bit how who the players are in this new world order. Now, I want to just use this video to connect what I did say in my last video with end times prophecy. How does it fit in? Okay, how does it fit in that, yes, papacy is running the world? Okay, how does it fit in that the United States is being used by a shadow government, okay, shadow government that we don't even vote for, but make all the decisions for us? Now, we see this very clearly, of course, through this pandemic. It's a worldwide government. It's a worldwide control that we are seeing implemented. And this control, yes, is going or is being or is using, this is the right word, is using the United States. Maybe the United States itself is not involved in it because the regular people in the United States have no idea what's going on. They don't know how the United States is ruling the world because it is divided into sub-organizations who are actually controlling everything in the United States and everything in Europe and everything all over. That's why that is called the New World Order. Okay, New World Order. Why? Because it's a worldwide thing. Now, a lot of this comes, of course, from U.S. either agencies that they're put in place through the U.S. or even U.S. citizens who are the super elite and have most or control most of the money, like the Gateses, the Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates and other people. We used to hear very much about Soros. We haven't heard too much about Soros. He kind of went into the background, but now we're seeing more that Bill Gates is taking over and controlling a lot of these think tanks, what I call think tanks, okay? A lot of these organizations, like the World Health Organization, okay? They are in the hands of kind of individuals that support it financially, but these individuals like Bill Gates are also controlled by other agencies or other people, and which all boils down to the top person in the pyramid, which is Lucifer. Now, where can we find that in the Bible, in end times prophecy? Now, I know that lots of people use a theology, end time theology, which is absolutely wrong. Okay? Absolutely wrong. If you believe in this one world ruler at the end, called the Antichrist, you most likely are deceived by that theology. Okay? Because that is not biblical. I challenge you to find any prophecy in the Bible that refers to this one world ruler. Now, yes, Paul talked about the man of sin as if it were one person. But many times in the Bible, that also could mean a system or more than one rulers, which is the case with the man of sin. If you know that the man of sin is synonym to the little horn in Daniel 7, or to the Babylon the Great in Revelation 17 and 18, then you know this man of sin is not just one ruler, but it is a system. And see, this is what many people just do not want to understand. Now, all this stuff is already happening, and I have shown this very clearly in my videos. These things are happening right now, this minute. People think, oh, eventually this man of sin is coming. Oh, eventually this whatever that Antichrist is coming. Remember, Antichrist we only find twice in the Bible. Once in 1 John, in the letter of John, and 2 John. That's where we find that word. In the definition of Antichrist is somebody who denies that Jesus came in the flesh. Read that in 2 John 2. That person denies, and it's a person who denies. So it's not just one person, not one ruler, but a person who denies Jesus came in the flesh. That means he was God in the flesh. If somebody denies that, he is an Antichrist. Okay? Anybody who denies who Jesus is, that he is Messiah, okay, is an Antichrist. It's not this one man ruler at the end. John never ever described that person as such. Matter of fact, John never used that word in Revelation. Never. In Revelation, he uses the beast. There are two beasts. And remember, beasts are always systems. They are empires. You go again to Daniel 7, and it shows you clearly. You can go there, okay? You can stop the video and go there and read Daniel 7 and read about the four beasts that came out of the sea. Four empires: the Babylonian, the Persian, the Greek, and the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire really never died. And the Roman Empire is the last beast that came out of the sea. We see that beast again in Revelation 13. The first beast. That's the Roman Empire. See, the Roman Empire metamorphed into Europe, okay? Or the Holy Roman Empire. And who was ruling that whole Holy Roman Empire? It was papacy, or the little horn in the middle. Okay? That last beast had 10 horns. And those were the kingdoms, the European kingdoms that came out of Rome. And then in the middle was the little horn, which again is not one lonely ruler. It is a kingdom as well. Remember, horns are kingdoms. It's the smallest kingdom in Europe, but yet it was the most powerful kingdom in Europe, which is papacy. Now, that's just facts that I have mentioned so many times, but people are still in denial. Now, I don't understand why they are in denial, because it is so obvious that you don't have a gap, okay? Every one of these beasts out of the sea, one came out after another. There was no gap, okay? there was the Babylonian, and after the Babylonian came the Persian, after the Persian came the Greek, after the Greek came the Roman, after really the traditional Roman Empire came the Holy Roman Empire, actually morphed into the Holy Roman Empire. Okay, that's just the way it is. There is no in between. Now, if you do not understand history, yeah, you may miss it. But then again, even the reformers realized that papacy is the man of sin. Now, Luther called him Antichrist. I don't know why he called him Antichrist. I have no idea. But what happened is the Catholic Church took that word and really ran with it and built their own false end times prophecy on it in order to hide who the man of sin is. This is all a deception that's been going on for 500 years. 500 years, people. Okay? Now, when the people were still closer to the Reformation, they realized it. And they went against the Pope. And the Pope lost a lot of power. Okay? During the time of the French Revolution and the German Kaisers being Protestant, lost a lot of power. Okay, what did the Pope do? Well, he tried to regain his power by taking over the United States. And it took him 250 years to finally take over the United States, to use the United States again as his empire to rule the world. An empire, or somebody who can rule the world, has to have a military power. Okay? And papacy always used the worldly empires or the worldly kingdoms to do his dirty work. And that's still what's happening. Okay? He uses other agencies to do his work and to hide. See, this time, papacy is hiding in the shadows. Now, before, everybody knew papacy was running things. If they did not do what the Pope said during the Middle Ages, well, they were killed. They were taken out as rulers. Somebody else was put in place. Why? Because papacy ran Europe. And when they lost that power, they had to regain it. And again, they regained it through using the United States, okay, to use the military power of the United States to control the world. And of course, not just the military power, but they created what I call think tanks, like the World Health Organization, who is now in charge of regulating the population by using a pandemic. Okay? So we don't even need the military to control the masses anymore, or to control politics anymore. Now, guess what? We are using the World Health Organization. Okay? So we're making it look like, oh, we're doing something good for you if we're giving you regulations. Oh, we just want to save you. We don't want you to die. We want you to live a happy and healthy life. No, we're not having a happy, healthy life, people. When you have to be on lockdown, if you cannot pursue your happiness, okay, that is not a happy life. But they are still making people believe, oh, this is just temporary for your good. So they have used this agency to control the whole world. Okay? Of course, they're not coming, doing the top, the control from the top. They already have in control, or they have already organized themselves so well in all the way down to the local agencies, okay? The local health agencies who are doing the work for the World Health Organization, but not just the World Health Organization, but whoever is behind it, who came up with this idea that, hello, we're going to use a World Health Organization or a health organization, which is our CDC, okay? And since I'm mentioning CDC, did you know CDC was actually coming out of a military, military plans, okay? Because they were afraid of these pandemics, and so they developed the CDC in order so we can protect the people from any biological attacks. But in reality, what are they doing? They are not protecting us from anybody else's biological attacks, but now they're using these things to control the population. Okay? See how they work that? They gave you false pretense in order to develop these agencies, and now they're using these agencies to control the world. Now it takes most likely a mastermind, doesn't it? Wow, who can come up with this kind of stuff? That they can organize things and control things in this way. How and who learn about human psychology and is using this human psychology right now to control the world? I wonder who is in charge of all this. Well, people, that goes down to the fallen angels. Okay? It goes down to Lucifer, who rebelled against God, and his followers who followed him. Now, how many people believe in Lucifer? Nobody. Okay? So, how well can Lucifer hide? Oh, very well. Very, very well. Why? Because that was another strategy. His strategy was, well, I'm going to get people not to believe in me anymore. And when I get these people not to believe anymore, well, I guess, you know what? They will not know who is behind this whole nonsense, and they will be tapping around in the dark forever. You know, so many people are really opening their eyes to what's going on. And yet, do they ever get to that person that is really on top of the pyramid, the all-seeing eye? How many people are realizing that this person that's on top has been around forever and has been deceiving humankind forever? Nobody. I mean, very few people. Even Christians are deceived exactly by that agency that Lucifer is using, which is papacy, in order to deceive us. Okay? They don't even know. But because even papacy is hiding, and that's what Satan has done. He is not making it any more obvious what he is doing. Okay? Not making it obvious. He is hiding his plans in the background, and that's why it is so deceptive. That's what Satan is doing. He does not have to persecute the saints anymore. Doesn't have to be persecuting the saints anymore. All he has to do is deceive people. And he has much more success deceiving people than killing them, because so many people are actually very gullible. And we can see that because most people, even if they say they're Christians, they don't want to realize who is really behind everything. And that we have been living in the time of this man of sin, or in the time of this little horn, or in the time of the beast, the first and the second beast. Okay? The first and the second beast. Because the second beast is this new world order, which sprang out of the United States. Empire, the United States Empire. The United States Empire was used as a springboard to create this new world order. And of course, people don't want to hear that. No, not the United States. We are built on freedom and democracy. But no, we don't have any more democracy right now. That is out of the window. Why? Because people did not really care about democracy. They were more interested in acquiring wealth and doing well and celebrating and doing all the wonderful things that people like to do, traveling and going on vacation, all these wonderful things, buying things, becoming wealthy, and rich and having prestige. That's what America also is all about. And that appealed to most people, especially to Christians or so-called Christians. Look in the churches. Look in the churches of America. Okay? What do we see? We see wealth, okay? Accumulation of wealth, even amongst the pastors. Okay? So that's very important. How do I acquire wealth? How do I get rich? Okay? How do I control things? How much control can I have over my congregation? So, yeah, it's not surprising that most Christians or so-called Christians totally missed what has been going on for at least the past 250 years. Because yes, our country was built on democracy and on freedom, but very, very early on, papacy creeped in and took over again. The popes never liked the freedom of the United States, the freedom the Protestant believers had. And so he wanted to destroy it. But who is really again in charge? Who does not like freedom? Who does not like that we have democracy? It is Lucifer. It is Lucifer himself who doesn't like the freedom of human beings. He wants to be in charge. He stole the freedom that human beings had in the garden. He stole it. Human beings had freedom. And what did he do? He came in and deceived them. And since that time, he has deceived them over and over and over again. And even when the Holy Spirit entered every believer, okay, the Holy Spirit is here now. And he is here in many, many people. Even now, people are still not turning around and understanding what's going on. They'd rather follow Satan. Of course, they don't know they're following Satan, but Satan knows what people desire. He knows that people want fame and money and good things and wonderful things. Yeah, he knows that. Okay? And so he could deceive us because he knows our desires. And he knows that we do not want to follow the Creator. Not really. You know, we are more interested in other things. Well, I got interrupted. So, yeah, we need to really, really wake up, because Satan knows exactly what our desires are, and he has been using that. But even people that call themselves Christians, you know, especially people that call themselves Christians, they're not following Jesus and the principles that he has put out there for us. I did make a video, a German video, and I talked about some more about this book, what is it called? Pagan Christianity by Frank Viola. Yeah, Frank Viola. And I talked about that that book about I think it was 2 videos ago. And I talked a little more in my German video about Frank Viola and what he wants, or what he is really working on, the organic church. And I said in that video, even in the English video, very clearly that we have totally strayed away from the way church was supposed to be conducted. So the assembly of believer, which is the definition of church, the assembly of the believers, okay, is being conducted totally wrong and unbiblical. And why? Because it is built on greed, and it's built on control. And who is doing that? It's doing, maybe you can blame the false teachers that have entered the churches. But for me, it is every believer who has the Holy Spirit who is not taking responsibility to clean out the sourdough, or to say, wait a minute, I am not going to continue to attend a church that is built on these principles, and not on the principles that first Jesus gave us and second Paul gave us. So, okay, we definitely left the instructions of the Bible. We definitely allowed these false teachers to come in our congregations, and we shouldn't be surprised when the sourdough continues to deceive the believers, okay, which is happening today. And so today, do the true believers even still see what's going on? Do they know? Or are they continuing to believe lies and fairy tales? Fairy tales that came directly from the man of sin, papacy, okay? Because that's where these false end times prophecies came from, or end times theologies like dispensationalism. I know you have heard me talk against dispensationalism, but it is very serious, okay? It's very serious that we do wake up. Not only is Jesus returning soon, okay, I know that. Of course, we still may have a whole year before he returns. And during that time, our government is going to take over more and more. Things are going to happen, okay? Things are going to happen. They're talking about a reset, okay? We know we are in the end times. I don't want to call him Antichrist. Let's say the little horn, the whore, Babylon the Great. Let's say the beast out of the earth, okay? The beast out of the earth, which is the U.S. empire and the New World Order. You see, the U.S. empire has created this New World Order. which is now in place, and they're ready to take over. It's not one world ruler if you're waiting for that nonsense. Oh no, it's already here right now. And if you're continuing to comply with their stuff, then you are in darkness. And once the government takes over, you will continue to support this system. What system is it? It's the beast system, people. Okay? It's the beast system. Have you heard about the mark of the beast? Yeah, that's what it is. This second beast out of the earth is making a mark to the system. Okay? Not one man, to the system. What is the system? Okay? It is whoever sits on the European beast. Okay? That first beast out of the earth. Who is sitting on it? It is the whore Babylon the Great. It is the little horn. It is papacy. Now, of course, papacy cannot do everything alone. Papacy needs Europe to comply. And that is exactly what is happening today. Okay? They're making Europe comply. They're making the rest of the world to comply. They're making the United States complying. And the United States is actually enforcing, will be enforcing that mark. Okay? That beast out of the earth is going to enforce that beast or that mark of the beast. Okay? The beast is the system. It is the political system that right now is in existence. Think about it. What political system is right now in existence? You should be able to see it. It's worldwide. Okay? It's worldwide. We're all going through the same thing with this coronavirus. They are simultaneously taking over control of the whole world. Okay? And they're testing how far are people going to comply. They're testing right now. And they're using, especially in Germany, just coming back from Germany, using a lot of sanctions in Germany. Okay? A lot of tickets to enforce their mandates. Now, this is what we're going towards. We're going towards a total takeover of the system. The next thing that's going to happen is the reset. And that's a separate thing that I'm going to have to talk about. But it's coming. Okay? It's coming because it is part of this new world order. They're going to have to create a new financial system, a new money system. Okay? They're going to do that. There's already plans. Just like they have planned this pandemic prior to it happening. They had a meeting, people, in November, I believe, they were simulating this corona pandemic. Okay? Now in January, I believe, they came together, I believe it was in Davos, and also talked about the reset. Now, what do you think is going to happen next? If they have already decided to talk about it and to plan it. The reset. Now, you know what a reset is, right? In other words, they're going to start over with our financial system, with the money system. Okay, that's why they're spending as much money as they do, or print as much money as they do, because eventually it really doesn't matter. Okay, they're going to start all over. So it really doesn't matter how much money right now the government spends or prints, because we're going to start all over. And who again is the ones that are going to lose when this happens? It's the middle class. Okay, it's the middle class. They're going to lose their properties. They're going to lose everything, which is already happening. Okay, people are losing their businesses right now. Many people losing their jobs. Okay, leaving them destitute and dependent on the government. It's all planned, people. And you need to wake up. There is not going to be this man of sin or this Antichrist coming sometime at the end. No, people, we are right now in the middle of it. And the next event that's going to happen is the rapture. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that, because before the rapture, we may actually have the reset. They may have the reset after the election. Okay? They may have the reset after the election. It's all possible. They're just waiting until this election is over, until they can collapse our economy fully. Because that's what they're doing. They're holding it up right now artificially. Our economy is gone, people. Okay? It's gone. And they're holding it up artificially. That's all they're doing. Okay? Well, I'm coming to an end. I know I've been jumping all over, and yet you know how it all fits together. I have done videos on these things, on the little horn, and I have done videos on the beast out of the sea, the beast out of the earth. You can go back and watch these videos. I just wanted to kind of wrap things up again and showing you that these things are happening really today. They're happening today. Okay? And yes, we may have to wait another year before the return of Jesus. Because, as you know, I really strongly believe that Jesus will return on the Feast of Trumpets, which is, of course, in the fall. And we just passed the Feast of Trumpets. Okay? So we're going to have to wait a whole year before the time is ready again. And during that year, much is going to happen. Much. And you're going to have to duck many times this coming year. So you don't get something hit in your face. Okay? Things may happen. You're going to have to survive. So put your life in order. Okay? Put your life in order. Will they implement the mark? They will not probably implement the mark until they push people to vaccinate. I think that's what's going to happen. Or they may implement it once they put this new financial system in place. They may just say, okay, we're going to start all over with this new financial system, and they will put something in your skin or whatever, or something for you to say, yep, I'm accepting this beast system. Yes, I'm bowing down to this beast system, because that's what it is. You understand? You have to bow down to this beast system. And you know what? Lots of people are doing that right now. Going along with this beast system, what we're having right now. We're having a beast system right now. And people are bowing down to it because they're afraid. Okay? They're afraid. I don't know. Eventually, I think you're going to get the mark. And I believe the mark will change your DNA. Okay? The mark will change your DNA, and you will have no return, and your DNA will be altered, and you will not be able to be saved anymore. Okay? That's why people who receive the mark will be lost. But again, if you don't receive the mark, your head goes off. At least for many. Okay, not for all. I think there's probably ways to get away from all that. But then again, you definitely have to be prepared for that one. I'm going to come to an end. Please wake up. Open your eyes. Go to my Facebook group, Great Deceptions of the End Times, because I do post a lot of very important information there. I collect a lot of information from lots of people on that Facebook group, Great Deceptions of the End Times. All right. Well, let the Holy Spirit guide you always.